The time now is 10:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you're tuned into War Notes from the Front Porch, where we take the world's turbulence and break it down vintage style. I'm Paviel G, talking tonight about two fresh headlines shaking the political landscape. Number one, a young Democratic socialist, Zohran Mamdani, is surging in New York City's Democratic primary, energizing working class voters and challenging the old guard. And two, tonight we have Pam Bondi, yes, Trump's lawyer, Yellow Man, again refused to answer Senator Merkley's pointed questions in a Senate hearing. We'll explore what these stories signal and what they mean for you and your family and the state of our nation. Let's get into it. Zohran Mamdani, New York's Democratic Socialist surge. Who is he? Well, he's a 33-year-old Queens assemblyman backed by Bernie Sanders and AOC on a bold progressive platform, rent freezes, fare-free buses, universal child care funded by taxing the wealthy, according to Barron's.com and TheGuardian.com. Number two, momentum building. A Marist poll shows him gaining on Cuomo. Young voters are backing him by 52% to 18%, according to FT.com. Why does it matter? Well, if he wins June 24th, it signals a seismic shift for Democrats and gives socialist policies credibility for national rollout. What challenges could lay ahead? Well, he's still trailing among Black and Latino voters, key demographics, and faces Wall Street pushback. So, what do I want you to take away from this, my listeners? This is grassroots energy, focusing on affordability, issues families at the home front live every day. Now, regardless of politics, watch this trend. It's reshaping conversations about housing, transit, and who gets a seat at the table. Shout outs. I'm giving shout outs to Itachi. Welcome. Hello. And Mr. Lanny or Mrs. Lanny. Hello. Welcome to the front porch. Thank you for being here. I am your host, Paviel G, and I welcome you here. Welcome, Colt 112. Now, let's get into what's going on, what folks are talking about. Pam Bondi's Senate dodges. Okay, the hearing. Yes, indeed. If you didn't hear about it, you're going to hear about it now. During Senate appropriations questioning, Pam Bondi, Yellow Man's lawyer, was asked by Senator Merkley whether Trump's decisions were influenced by foreign buyers of his cryptocurrency. She refused to answer, calling the questions gotcha, quote unquote, according to ibtimes.com. Again, she starts to dodge again. Is this anything new with the yellow administration? She also declined to say yes or no on whether she'd retract big lie claims or say Trump lost in 2020. If you didn't know, you just found out here. What does that show? Bondi's refusal, especially as the nation's next supposed top lawyer, signals a willingness to avoid accountability, with serious implications if she becomes Attorney General. Now, what can my listeners take away from this? This isn't spectator politics or spectator politics. This affects your rights and justice. A DOJ that refuses to say hard truths can lead to real world consequences, from election denial to foreign influence and beyond. It can all affect that. And welcome, Gigi. Yes, indeed. We are talking about the new, hopefully new elect, and we're talking also about Pam Bondi as well. Welcome and thank you for being here. So, as we connect the dots for you, as I connect the dots for you to the best of my ability, both stories reflect power in motion. Okay. Mamdani's grassroots rising versus Bondi's elite dodge. One signals urgency for public investment in everyday needs. The other warns of accountability, vacuums at the top. The point is that you have to know your candidates. And when you know your candidates, you have to demand honesty. And when you demand honesty, you must push for representation that values your well-being now and in crises. Because a lot of time when crises happen, a lot of people don't like to stand up and tell the truth. A lot of people don't like to talk because they're afraid of any type of repercussions, especially through the yellow administration. As we know, they threaten folks. So what can you, as my listener, do tonight? You can stay engaged and vote in the primaries if you're in New York, or support similar voices in your region. But the demand for accountability, okay, is needed. You must call your senator's office, call them first thing in the morning, ask for clarity and truth from appointees. Do that. Make a plan at home, because as war rumbles on, we must prepare with purpose. Evaluate your budget. Start to prioritize housing, your energy, food. We use energy boxes and solar. So we're not worried about electric bills, as some people maybe are worried about electric bills and rent and all of these things. I'll make sure that I have an episode on those special things as well, so you guys can get a piece of land too as well, and be rent free like we are, and we don't have to worry about rent or energy bills. We don't have to worry about any type of bills, and we pay $47 a year in taxes for our land. Okay, and I'll make another episode on that, so you guys can have all the connections and information that you need. Do I have a dad joke? Maybe I'll come up with one. Or you have one. All right. Going back here, indeed. So, again, please call your senator's office. Ask for clarity and truth from appointees. Plan at home. Because as war rumbles on, again, we must prepare with purpose. So, as we do those things, prioritize housing, energy, and food, and organize yourself, you can do another thing by connecting with your neighbors. Not all neighbors, but connect with your neighbors for mutual support, right? Ask local candidates what's their plan for housing, transit, job support. Ask that. Indeed. And Itachi, I'm glad you're here. I hope that I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I hope that now that situation is better, because I'm telling you, it's not easy. And no, that wasn't the darkest day of your life. Let me tell you, we are all special, including you and everybody else listening here. We are all special. And that's never the darkest day of your life. I'm going to tell you now. There's somebody else in the world that is doing worse off than you and I and everybody else. There is another person doing worse off than the next person standing next to you, and so on and so on. So we must be glad and we must be grateful that we get to wake up every single day and get to breathe another day, so we can battle and fight another day. Itachi, you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right, family. You are going to be all right. Now, before I head out of here and go into the next episode, I'll probably have another episode tonight. So you guys make sure that you subscribe, and so you guys can keep posted, put on those alerts, make sure you guys can know when I'm on, because I jump on several times throughout the day, and I would love to have you all here as my audience if you all would like to get some great advice, I feel. Now, if you have your kids, if you have anybody, bring them along. We keep kids here too. All right. This is the front porch. So that is tonight's front porch dispatch. Democratic Socialist threatening the status quo, and a Trump loyalist dodging Senate questions both show us the direction the country might take. Which path will you support? One of honesty, affordability, and accountability, or one of silence and defensiveness? Please subscribe, comment with your thoughts, and share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. Because guess what? Like we always say, right? When politics get loud, we go home. I am Pavi LG. Good night. Stay aware. Stay prepared.